President Trump remains in the hospital after his recent COVID-19 diagnosis. Sources are saying a U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania will not be running for re-election in 2022. A local barn goes up in flames and fire crews rush to the scene.
Live in high definition from your news leader, this is 1024 Action News at 11.
New tonight at 11. Tonight, President Trump's doctors say his condition is improving with some ups and downs at Walter Reed Medical Center, where he's being treated for COVID-19. ABC's Raina Roy tells us about the controversy over the mixed messages surrounding the president's health.
Tonight, President Trump abruptly leaving Walter Reed Medical Center in a motorcade, waving hello to his supporters outside moments before posting this video message to Twitter.
I also think we're going to pay a little surprise to some of the great patriots that we have out on the street.
A senior administration official tells ABC News President Trump went back to the hospital after and is said to be doing well after being admitted to the military hospital Friday evening.
The president has continued to improve. As with any illness, there are frequent ups and downs over the course.
But there's confusion and many concerns over credibility, with conflicting information being released about the president's condition. Just yesterday, leading physician Dr. Sean Conley appearing to dodge questions over whether the president received any supplemental oxygen. Today, he said this.
Over the course of his illness, the president has experienced 2 episodes of transient drops in his oxygen saturation. I recommended the president we try some supplemental oxygen. Stayed on that for about an hour.
Dr. Conley says that happened Friday, but when asked if the president was also on oxygen Saturday, he couldn't seem to recall.
I'd have to check with the nursing staff.
He was then pressed about his discrepancies.
I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team, the president, that his course of illness has had, came off that we were trying to hide something, which wasn't necessarily true.
Dr. Conley says Trump has been taking the experimental drug remdesivir and has not had a fever since Friday morning, but it's still unclear exactly when and how the president was infected.
When you don't have full transparency, when there's cover-ups, contradictory statements, even lying about something as vital to the nation's security as the president's health, the nation is severely endangered.
A growing list of officials and advisors close to the president have contracted the virus. The latest, his personal assistant and body man, Nick Luna, seen here next to Hope Hicks, without a mask, boarding Air Force One, one day before she tested positive. 8 others who attended last Saturday's Rose Garden ceremony for Trump's Supreme Court nominee infected too, including former advisor Kellyanne Conway and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Raina Roy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump's medical team says he could be released and back at the White House as early as tomorrow. Erie County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper is weighing in on President Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. She tells us she's concerned about the president and his health. Dahlkemper believes that he'll recover quickly with top care professionals. As the pandemic continues to take a toll across the county executive says the community still needs to do their part.
The president wasn't a real fan of wearing masks, but I know that science has continued to tell us masks do work. And so I hope that this maybe is just another reminder to people of how important it is to wear a mask.
Dahlkemper tells us Erie County residents are continuing to do a great job protecting themselves and others from COVID-19. Today, the State Department of Health issued a 2-day total of the latest COVID-19 numbers. The Health Department reporting 40 new cases over Saturday and today. The total number stands at 1,643. The State Department of Health reports 2,251 new COVID-19 cases over this period. This brings the statewide total to over 163,000. There were 17 new deaths, bringing that total to 8,216. Crawford County reporting 324 cases today. That's an increase of 3. Warren County is up 1 to 45 cases. Chautauqua County reports 675 cases, and Ashtabula County reporting 673 cases. Jet 24 is your local election headquarters. According to multiple sources, U.S. Senator Pat Toomey will not seek re-election in 2022. Toomey is expected to make that announcement during a news conference on Monday morning. Toomey will also not run for Pennsylvania governor in 2022. That's according to a source with direct knowledge to the plans. The announcement is set for 10 a.m. Monday morning in Bethlehem, PA. A spokesperson for the senator's office declined to comment. For all your election news anytime, head to our website, yourerie.com. Nearly a dozen fire companies were called to a Warren County barn blaze. It's new tonight at 11. The first calls came in around 3 Sunday afternoon on Rowley Road in Sugar Grove. According to investigators, a fire started inside a milk barn and the flames spread rapidly after an explosion inside the barn. The fire spread to surrounding barns and structures. Several animals were injured and a dog died in the fire. Witnesses say the explosion was so violent that it could be felt or heard for miles. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Myrtle Beach Police Department is mourning the loss of an officer killed in the line of duty Saturday night. Officers were responding to a domestic incident Saturday night when shots were exchanged between a man and police. 2 officers were shot during the exchange, including Jacob Hancher, who died of his injuries. Hancher served on the force for less than a year.
He was a dedicated public servant who upheld his oath to protect this community and made the ultimate sacrifice.
The second officer wounded in the shooting was taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries and has since been released. And there was a remembrance ceremony held in the nation's capital for victims of the pandemic. The group COVID Survivors for Change organizing the tribute Sunday to the more than 200,000 lives lost. Americans who have lost loved ones to COVID shared their stories in the hopes that it will push others to take the virus seriously.
I want people to understand that this can happen to anyone. This can happen to your loved one, yourself, a family member, someone that you care about, or even just a stranger out in the street.
Organizers behind the tribute are inviting anyone who's lost a loved one to the virus to share their name on a wall of remembrance at nationalcovidremembrance.org. And coming up next on Jet 24 Action News at 11, today was the last day of Oktoberfest. We checked in with St. Joseph on how they're to this year's festival, but that's after Craig's first forecast. Hey, Craig.
All right, Brian, and speaking of October, I think a couple of days this week will be more like Warmtober.